Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with OddsJam. You guys know the drill. Let's bet some NBA player props. Here are my NBA player prop best bets for today, Wednesday, December 28th. And let's get right into it. So the first play that I'm going to lock in here, pulled from OddsJam, pulled from the positive expected value page, is Nikola Vucevic under 1.5 made three-pointers. So this play is bet at plus 124 at FanDuel, and it is in the Bucks versus Bulls game. So that's the play itself. Now let's chat about the math behind it. So OddsJam calculates the no vig odds, the OddsJam perfect line to be at about plus 121.5, essentially plus 121.5, right? And these odds are pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world. So that's why it's such a powerful tool, and that's why it's so important making sure that you gain an edge over the sports book, because sports books generally have the edge over you, right? They charge a juice, they charge a vig. If you look at both sides of a bet, like this BetMGM one, on the over you have to bet $130 to profit 100. On the under you have to risk $100 to profit 100. There's a 30-cent gap between these two numbers, right? That's the juice, that's the vig. In sports books, all they're trying to do is get 50-50 payout on each side, and then they make the difference. So in order to be profitable, you have to find some sort of edge over the sportsbook, and that's exactly what positive EV betting does. The sharpest sportsbooks, the most accurate sportsbooks in the world, price this to be plus 121.5. And then OddsJam is scanning odds from that are from current live betting opportunities and provides situations where you're getting a higher payout than what the no vig odds, than what the OddsJam perfect line calculates a bet to be. And one secret about sports betting is that not all odds are created equal, or not all sports books are created equal. Some sports books are better simply at pricing odds, right? And OddsJam calculated who those good, sharp, smart sports books are, and then uses them to set the line. So if we're looking into what we see here, which is just where every sports book prices a play at, so FanDuel has it at plus 124, and then look across the board. So some sports books have it closer. PointsBet, Bet365, and BetRivers have it closer. But then look at every other book. BetMGM at plus 100, Caesars at minus 104, DraftKings at plus 100, BetOnline at plus 105, FoxBet at plus 1, or excuse me, BetOnline at plus 109, FoxBet at plus 105, and then Pinnacle at minus 101. And when you're betting player props, you want to look at obviously the entire landscape of the market, which is exactly what I just did. But there are three books that you want to specifically highlight: Pinnacle, BetOnline, and DraftKings. Now, Pinnacle and BetOnline are the two most important ones. So if you're betting on a player prop, let's pretend it's on DraftKings and it's an outlier to those two, bet it. That's a good play. You want to give the heaviest weight to Pinnacle and BetOnline because they're two of the sharpest sports books. Well, Pinnacle has it at minus 101. BetOnline has it at plus 109. DraftKings has it at plus 100. The three sharp ones range from like 25 to 15 cents lower, meaning more favorable to occur than the FanDuel line at plus 124. This is a really good play. FanDuel, Nikola Vucevic under 1.5 made threes, plus 124 at FanDuel. In positive expected value betting, of course you're not going to win every single bet. You're not going to profit every single week, month, day, whatever. If you look at my profit over time graph, it's significantly more up than down. But as I've increased my bankroll and bet a higher volume of bets, we see wider swings, right? Down all the way from 1,600, up all the way to 2,500 or 2,800. Or even last week, I was up just under 1,800. This week, of course, I'm slightly down. But overall, significantly more in the green than red, giving me a total profit of $1,850. If you look at my monthly statistics, I've been using this since September of last year. I'm up every month except for 3. But how about these horrible 3 down months in a 4-month stretch? Variance is an unfortunate reality of sports betting. It's just you could place the best bets in the world, and sometimes you're just going to have bad luck. So you're not going to win every single bet, but it is important to stick with it, to stick with the positive expected value betting, and just trust the math, right? Like if you're looking at it from a logical, don't even care about sports, don't even know anything about sports, just looking at it from a numbers perspective, if one sports book is an outlier to the rest of the betting market, to the rest of the sports books, and by an outlier, it's higher payout for you, generally if you just think about it logically, that means that sportsbook should have that mispriced, right? It should be priced closer to the remaining sportsbooks, to the rest of them, right? So more often than not, that will work out in your favor, just not every time. So that's the first play, Vooch under 1.5 made threes. Next up, we're looking at DeMar DeRozan over 24.5 points in the same game, Bucks versus Bulls. The play is at -115 at BetMGM. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this to be at about -117. Excuse me. We are getting it 2 cents better, 2 cents higher payout at BetMGM at -115. And then same thing. Let's look at where every other sportsbook prices it. Pinnacle at -136, DraftKings at -135, and then we see -130, -140, -137. No book has this below -130. And then I will say you can ignore Monkey Knife Fight and Prize Picks because they're DFS companies, so they have the same odds for every single play. So every sportsbook that actually individually prices odds has this 15 to 40, 35, 25 cents higher than the BetMGM line. And then with a play like a point total, what you're going to want to do is open the event page in a new tab because not every sportsbook, like we know that sportsbooks have different odds, right? This also means that sportsbooks have different totals themselves. So not every single sportsbook is going to price this DeMar DeRozan point total at 24.5, right? So right now, all we're seeing is the over/under specifically for 24.5. Well, let's see where other sportsbooks price it. And as we can see, so we took it over 24.5. As we can see, other sportsbooks price it at 25 or 25.5. So that's a good sign for us. We're taking an over that other sportsbooks price it above the number we got it at. And as we can see, like PointsBet, FanDuel, Bet365, BetRivers, BetOnline, and BetOnline actually still, BetOnline is this column right here. Excuse me. BetOnline, not only do they price it a point higher, but they actually favor it going over. They have the over priced at -125 and the under at -103. So if we're looking at this play, we got DeMar DeRozan over 24.5 points at -115. Every other sportsbook either significantly prices the over as the more likely scenario, right, which is what we were looking at, or they price his point total above the number we got it at, including BetOnline, like I said, that favors it going over at a point higher. So this is a really, really good value bet, this DeMar DeRozan over 24.5 points. This one's really good. So this is my second pick for this video. And the last one, excuse me, in the Timberwolves versus Pelicans game, we have D'Angelo Russell under 7.5 assists, plus 108 odds at BetRivers. Can also get this at Barstool, TwinSpires, and Unibet. So the OddsJam perfect line prices it below this at plus 107.81. So smaller gap between these two numbers, but still a gap nonetheless. And that's really all that matters. As long as you're getting some sort of outlier on your sportsbook compared to the rest of them, then that's a good play. So BetRivers, plus 108. We see some have it 8 cents lower at plus 100, but then we see like -113, -110, -105. You can ignore these three, -108, -110, and then Pinnacle actually has it as the most likely at -114. So all in all, no book has it below. Looks like plus 100 is the closest that a sportsbook has it at, and again, we are getting it at plus 108. So this is another good one, my third and final NBA player prop for today, and that's going to be it. So if you're tailing these, comment on the video. I'd love to hear it. Other than that, please remember to like, subscribe, like I said, comment, all that good stuff. Helps me out a ton. But that's it. So appreciate everybody watching, and have a good one.